How you doing? My name is Andrew. I'm the founder of Inigo. I'm joined today by two of my developers, Pavel and Tomer. I'm going to start off by asking a question. How many of you have used a personal check in the last month? Just showing hands. How many people have written a letter in the last month? How many people have with them or have used a business card in the last month? There we go. There's a lot more. So interesting. Business cards are still a growing industry. In fact, it's still the first form, or it's still the first way that people communicate when meeting somebody new. And in fact, if I go back to this first thing, we know on a smartphone and on the web, we have replaced personal checks with online banking, and we've replaced emails with writing a letter. But there's still not an elegant solution for replacing business cards. A lot of apps out there today, they try to coexist with business cards. They take a picture of it, and they do a fantastic job out of it. But they're still using the business card itself as a way to communicate or a way to interact with that person at a later time. Another way that business cards are being transferred to a smartphone is by making the business card itself smart, putting a chip or something into the business card, and then allowing that person to communicate with them later. And then the famous one is Bump. Bump allows you to take two mobile phones, tap them together, and send that information between those two people. However, both people have to have the app, and if you don't have the app, and you find somebody that you want to bump with, you have to ask them the question, hey, do you know what Bump is? And if not, you have to give them a backup business card anyways. So when we looked at Inigo, we said, smartphones are different than a paper business card. They are an elegant design of how people, use Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter and all those social profiles. So we designed Inigo based on those characteristics. We got your background, your profile picture, and then we allow you to take network links like facebook.com/Andrew Amann and link those to your Inigo card. And you can use any number of cards that you want. But most importantly, you can share those cards through the web server. And the web server allows you to not even have the person that you're meeting download the app. You can just simply talk to them, send them a card, and have them open it whenever they like. We believe that the first connection is the most important, which is why business cards are so successful, because you are meeting that person. However, the second connection, people can just go on a phone and Google search you. And so a lot of times they're finding things that you might want them to see, like your LinkedIn profile. However, there might be stuff online that you didn't want that particular person to see. So you want to be able to control that. And this is what Inigo does. Whether you have a hobby or a full-time job, Inigo lets you take your profile and send to that particular person the information you want them to read, simply by filtering it out. If you want to meet somebody else, you just create another card and then use that card for when you meet them at a later time. And how does Inigo do that? We're going to run through the app. So you start off by logging in through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Google. And we do that because we let them use their passwords. Not only that, once you log into the app, you're able to immediately get your profile picture and your name that you use for that network already accessed into the app. And then you can add websites, YouTube pages, resumes, links to pictures, links to artwork, anything that you use on a business card or any number of your business cards that you want to share with somebody. So we're going to go through real quick and add a website. So I'm simply just going to click the website add button. And then from there, let's say there's Boston New Technology. I go to their website. And then right here on meetup.com, that's the Boston New Technology website. So when I design my cards, I can use that as an element to link to them. And so we believe that you're also two different people, like one at night and one during the day. So if you wanted to be, meet some friends and family, in this case, this person's a dog walker as a hobby, and so she has multiple cards, and she can scroll through these cards and do quick shares in mobile email at the bottom. Therefore, she doesn't have to open the card after she designs it, and can send those cards to anybody at any time. And what's great about it is because it's on the web server, that person can open it a day later, a year later, whenever it happens to be. They can see that card, and if she updates it, if she changed her job, changed her location, that will automatically update on the web server for the next time the person uses it. So we're going to go back here and create a quick card, and I'm going to use what I added, the Boston New Technology website, as I'm going to create a card with it. Pick an icon. I'm going to drop down to the Boston New Technology website that I created, add LinkedIn, add Facebook, and my card's created. I now get to edit the picture. I can change the background, I can change the profile page, I can also change my name and change the name of the business card. So we're going to take the mobile phone here, and we're going to throw up LinkedIn. So that's what the card is. It's as simple as that. She can create as many as she wants, and she can utilize these, whether she's out walking the dog, whether she's at school and wants to give out some class tips or to meet some classmates, showing some her presentations, or she's just simply out partying and wants to meet somebody in a bar and wants to give out her Facebook information there. So the last thing about Inigo is that we have analytics. Business cards are dumb cards, right? The paper cards are. They don't allow you to get feedback on how you're sharing them or what you're using them for. Well, we at Inigo understand that when you give out a card, we can track just by saying you sent that card to that person. Now, not only that, we can also find out that when that person views the card, what network they clicked on, and at what time they viewed that card at. So we get to track these analytics over a course of multiple people. So if you were a manager of a sales team, let's say you had 20 people, and you want to find out at an event that you sent these guys to, how many cards did they send out? What information did they have? What networks were being clicked on? Did I have a promotional on my business card? And was that promotional successful? So we created desktop analytics. And desktop analytics, when you send that to a manager, he's able to access his whole sales team and then see over the course of time whether he wants to do a month, a week, or a few days, and then track those people through our analytics side of it. So I am out of time. But just the last slide here just shows that you can click on any member of your team at any time and get his profile picture and the cards that you sent out. So are there any questions?
What's the revenue model?
So the desktop analytics is the beginning part of our revenue model. We sell that to a manager. It's a monthly subscription. And that monthly subscription provides the sales team a number of seats. So if you had 7 team members, we'd sell multiples of 5, 10, 15, or 20. And of those seats, you'd utilize those on a monthly basis, and you'd have to pay for all 10. So one sale to a CEO provides you any number of seats that then are multiplied by the monthly. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
How do you keep the business and personal life separate? Because you wouldn't want your manager checking out your personal life.
Of course. We have 2 ways of doing that. One is the email address that the manager provides you. So if you were, let's say, at Boston New Technology was your address for your email address. So that would be controlled into the app, that would be the only card that manager gets to access. You wouldn't see any of your other personal information. And not only that, the manager would control the background. He would be able to design the logo and what the company should look like so that when that email address is used in a card, that background is locked into that card. Yes?
How do you manage somebody else's card?
So a business card is one way, right? When you pass that card out to somebody, your goal in that business card, I'm sorry, the question was, how do you manage business cards when you give it to somebody? How does that person connect back to you? And so the answer is, a business card is one way, right? I give you a card, and the goal of that card is for you to contact me through any of the means on my business card. If I gave you one that has an email address, a phone number, I expect you to call me back or send an email. Right, so with Inigo, you're sending Facebook information, Twitter, LinkedIn. That person can now view your profiles directly from Inigo. So when they click on Facebook, they're friending you through Facebook. When they click on LinkedIn, they're friending you through LinkedIn. And so that access point allows you to utilize that person, that business card. You get to see when they view it, you get to see when they click on it, and then you also get to see when they contact back to you using a different network. I'm sorry.
I receive a lot of business cards.
Yep.
From others.
Yep.
Anywhere you manage that.
Oh, all right. So you have a bunch of paper cards, and you use Inigo to get your stuff out, and now you're getting business cards back to you, correct? So you can take the business card itself, take the contact information, enter that into Inigo, and send them your contact. So you would either, let's say with an email address, you just type the email address in, you get home, or immediately at that time, and send it back to the person. Does that make sense? All right. Any other questions? Yeah.
Maybe I saw the question differently.
All right.
So that you get a bunch of business cards from other people.
Correct.
Is there a way to store and organize it and get what you want to put into finding that card?
Correct. We don't do that side of the business cards. We're more for the interaction of the two people. We want the people to connect using the networks that you provide on the card itself. So we don't have a contact book, and we don't have a like a database that stores the people you meet.
So if I want to do that, say, program then.
Correct. Like Cam card or something like that takes a picture of the business card and stores that in a contact book, and then allows you to access that contact at a later time from that distinct business card. So that's a way that you can do that process if you were concerned about storing contacts. You want- Yes, sir?
So going to the business side of this, would you enable the information to be dumped into Salesforce?
Correct. So once you share with a bunch of people, you have networks, email addresses, phone numbers, and V cards. And from there, on the desktop analytics side, the email button on the top right, click that. Any email address that any of your sales team requires will dump into the analytics. And you can filter that by name, and you can also get V cards based on those email addresses. So you get phone numbers, emails, and your whole sales team will list out all of the interactions they've made over the course of the time stream you put it. Yes?
So what happens in a situation where so many people ask for your cards at the same time? Let's say after the meeting,
Yep.
20 of us go to you
Yep.
and ask for your cards.
Yep.
How do you give us your information, or how do you get our information?
You can collect all the business cards, enter in the information, and send it back to them, or you can do it on an individual case-by-case basis.
So you still need a physical card.
If you were to collect cards from them, because they wouldn't know about Inigo, right? You would be using Inigo as your business card, and so you could send them your card to anybody that has a business card, and they could view your profile.
But eventually you want everybody to use your...
Exactly.
And then in that case, what I mean is that let's say everybody has that application, but still we have like 20 or 40 people come go to you, and
Yep.
in 5 minutes we are leaving.
Yep.
So with a physical card, I can just leave it with you, but with
Right.
your application, how do you get
So-
all our information or...
So we've integrated QR codes, and what I've done in a situation like this before is I put my phone on the table, and then I've had people walk over the phone and just scan on their way by. And so therefore, you can do it with NFC or QRs, but as they're walking by, they can actually grab that information quickly. So that's how we thought of that side of it, is using the QR side of it.
And then what happens in the places where there's no connection?
So the business card itself wouldn't go to the web server in that case. It would store it and then access it at a later time.
Okay.
So it's a good question, though. Time's up. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Come join New England's largest technology meetup, sponsor an event, present, or attend. Visit www.bostonnewtech.org.